Performing Gaming 420.
Guests, men and women of the finest military in the world. Most of all, Admiral Mullen, Deborah. Michael and I also want to acknowledge your son Jack, who's deployed today. All of you have performed extraordinary service to our country. Michael and I also want to acknowledge your son Jack, who's deployed today.
I've always thought Michelle Obama looked like something was wrong with her. They talk about how beautiful she is. She looks profanely scary and monstrous to me. And she always wears these weird fluffy things around her waist. And her shoulders are wide enough to put 3 men's heads on. And of course, you know the classic thing of a male. You could have 3 heads on a male's shoulders and only another head on a woman's shoulder, or 1/2 of a head on each side. That's a well-known thing in anatomy. And I saw an online video that I may air today, and we may look into this, talking about Michelle Obama looking like a man and how they only release photos of her with her hands up, covering her shoulders, or her turned at an angle. And I started looking at it with Joan Rivers saying she's a transvestite. And I've been hearing this for years, and I thought, come on. I know Obama was raised by a transvestite and the rest of it, and I'm not getting into bashing people. That's not my cup of tea. But I started to really last night look at videos of this and look at photos of her in the official White House photo, and she looks like an NBA center. I mean, she looks more like Shaquille O'Neal than a black woman. And knowing all the weirdness and that we don't even know who Obama really is and his social security numbers don't e-verify. And then his dad, clearly, we saw the documentary, Dreams of My Real Father. And I mean, it's him with the famous pornographer who lived in Hawaii, who his grandfather was best buddies with, and who Obama would stay the summers with. A famous communist pornographer. And you look at the guy, it's Obama's dad. So the whole Kenya thing with her saying, my husband's from Kenya, we visited his place of birth in multiple videos in 2006 and 7. His Harvard review, where he was the head of the Harvard Law Review, and he said, I was born in Kenya in his bio. And in his bio for shopping book deals when he was a senator, state senator, said I was born in Kenya. And we took that bait, hook, line, and sinker, folks. That, oh my God, they're covering up the records, oh, he's from Kenya, but his dad looks something like him. And then you see Frank Marshall Davis. I mean, it's his daddy. And then his grandfather's best buddies with him in the CIA. And then you go, oh my gosh. And then imagine the joke. See, it's all about a joke on us. That he's got cutout daughters, look nothing like him, and a cutout wife. And I began to look at his daughters last night and look at his wife. She's has that double chromosomal disorder where women are really men, and it's turned out a lot of the Olympic runners and a lot of the top tennis players and things really are not even really females. They're not hermaphrodites. Some of them are hermaphrodites, or both. A lot of them have this double chromosome. Men can have it too. And the Olympics are looking at trying to ban this in men and women, because men are like supermen, they're like cavemen. And then the women are like men when they have this chromosomal disorder. It was the double X, double Y. Print me some literature on that, I'm going from memory. But I've always looked at her jaw, her shoulders, her pelvis, all of it looks male. She has that male Superman physique. And it just clicked. You know what? I bet she is not who she says she is. I mean, my gut just really registered with that. What do you think about that? There is chromosome abnormality. Chromosome anomaly, abnormality, aberration, or mutation is a missing, extra, or irregular portion of chromosomal DNA. It can be from a atypical number of chromosomes or a structural abnormality in one of the chromosomes. Chromosome mutation has formerly used in a strict sense to mean a change in a chromosomal segment involving more than one gene. Yeah, but find the one, guys, that's hyper male or hyper female. It's super male, super female. remember seeing documentaries about it, reading books about it, biology, reading about it, but it's a big issue in the Olympics. They talk about it on ESPN, where they go and they do blood tests on, female runners and folks that don't look like women. And hey, it turns out they don't have a penis, excuse my French, but that's the word, that's the medical word for it. But they do have male genetics. They're men. They're men. And it turned out, remember the Russians couldn't lose in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and the women weightlifting didn't really look like women, and they would test them, and they didn't have steroids in them, but they looked like men. Well, they were men.
Michelle Obama might be a man. I know that might sound ridiculous, but is it? After all, there are many questions surrounding the president's past, and now people are starting to question the sexual orientation of the First Lady. Alex Jones has a special report on that from our new television studio in Austin, Texas.
Well, Joan Rivers talked about it in the last few days.